Hey guys, so today I'm going to go over how to tape your own thumb joint, specifically for the MCP joint here. This one's commonly sprained when you're playing a game where the ball might take your thumb backward or towards this inward motion, and it sprains right up in there, these ligaments right up inside your thumb. So to start off with, we're going to create our anchor. And the easiest way to do that would just be to wrap that around the wrist, or you can rip it off first. And make sure you don't create too much tension around the front of your wrist because you don't want to be cutting off circulation. Nice little anchor there. Okay. Now what I would then do is can prepare the strips. You can use a half roll. But you usually want like these half strips that I've prepared on the side here. So a little bit thinner, that way you can wrap around your thumb a little bit easier. So what I would like to do here is I usually start on the palm side, through our anchor, up. And again, for this one, you want to make sure that your hand in a more functional position. So almost like a gripping position that you would be doing if you're playing dodgeball or playing basketball or something that would require you to be in a downward motion of your hand. So down, around, and just wrapping it to the back side there. So that's our first layer. And I have a few strips of tape here already set out, but if you need more support, you can always do more. So all we're going to do with these other strips of tape, or we're just gonna kind of layer it over and using that first strip as a guide. And I like to go about halfway over with overlaps. And you can go higher or lower depending on where you're needing the extra support. Pulling it down a little bit, so you can even add a little bit of a downward motion as we're bringing it down to add that support into the direction we want it to. Because again, we want to prevent that, so we bring it down, add a little bit of a tension as we pull it down, around, and down onto our anchor. Now, even something like this, as simple as that, you can anchor that off and kind of keep that as a support. Or in our case, we're gonna do a little bit more. So for our purpose here, I'm gonna add another strip here. I'm gonna come up and around and add a extra strip here. So let's just rip that off. So you can measure by kind of using the back side of your tape to see how much tape you need. And so that won't stick onto your hand. So here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick it down again onto the anchor, up, through that palm, up through the webbing, and down like so. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a little bit more support coming across. So I'm going to pull in towards the meaty portion of my thumb. And again, that's just going to add some extra layers of support to prevent that backward motion and so backward extension motion and motion this way into adduction. So we're preventing our thumb from getting sprained into these directions. For example, if you're trying to catch a dodgeball and it catches your thumb that way, and you should prevent it from going that way. So I have a few strips here. And again, you don't need anything too big. Got a few strips already prepared. So this, I like to start it from the outside, bring it in, because we want to kind of prevent outward motion. You could do the other way. I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world, but for our purpose here, I like to go this way, pull it in, and just pull it in towards the thumb. And again, you can do about 2 or 3 of these ones here, again, depending on how much support you need. Pull it in and in towards the thumb, kind of closing that off as well. And I'll probably do one or two more here. Again, just coming over the top of that top joint through the MCP. Again, coming up through here. Bring that around. That might be a bit short actually. Come here. So again, this one's gonna be coming right across that MCP joint. Right through there. Okay, and all we're going to do is gonna tape those ones down, just like we did with the kind of one coming through the palm. So just make a nice firm strip here. Tape down those ends. Again, it's gonna start from the back of the wrist, coming up and around through my hand. Again, this one here is not as necessary. Again, you can just do the first few strips with those half strips. This is just gonna add extra layer of support if you need that extra layer of support. So that's just gonna tape everything down. Again, oops. Make sure that's coming down there. And just down toward the palm. That's a bit short actually. Okay, so just making sure all the ends are down. Okay, so that's how it looks like so far. Probably could have done this last one a little bit longer, coming down to the wrist here. And then now that everything, all our supporting strips are on, I'm just gonna wrap that up again one more time, just to make sure we're anchored down and nothing will pop up. So I can do it through the back of my hand here, coming around. Again, you can do like a mini fist to kind of pop your tendons up over here, or just make sure you're coming across, you're not pulling too tight. Nice and loose through the top, make a little bit of a fist, come around, anchor that off. And just rip that off, there we go. Okay, so a nice simple self thumb taping job. You can see how that's gonna prevent that motion. That here is gonna prevent this extension motion, prevent the adduction motion. Quick, simple. Again, this last one that we did across here, you probably don't need if you want just a little minimal support. You can do with just a half strips and leave it at that. So that's a nice, simple self taping job for the thumb. You can check your mobility through this joint here. You're protecting the MCP joint. Of course, when you're taping yourself, you want to make sure, or taping anybody, that your capillary refill is coming back. Pinch down your thumb. The redness in the thumbnail should go away, and when you let go, the refill should come back within a few seconds to make sure your circulation is being cut off. Okay, so give that a try. If you want to see other videos, hit that button below and just let me know if you want to see any other ones. So intricate, not really. Easy tape job. Catch you guys later.